Hi everyone, my name is Lorraine and my channel is Lo's Life and Lessons. Welcome, and if you're new here, my channel is about aging gracefully and really embracing the aging process and enjoying thoroughly this special time in our lives. My content, though, is geared to women of all ages, and even this one about foundation. Now, foundation, I guess it's called foundation because it is the foundation of our facial makeup. There are so many different types of foundation, different formulas, different qualities, different price points, and I want to address just a few of them. I am not an expert. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm not even somebody who really has a huge collection of makeup, but I will tell you that these products that I'm talking about today are 98% drugstore products. I'm not one who really goes for the Charlotte Tilburys and the NARS. I just find that there are so many wonderful drugstore products that are of great quality and they are really affordable for everyone. So those are the ones that I stick to. And also the makeup that I have, when I show you, you'll see that it's a bit grubby because I'm still using it. And I do like to use them all up before I buy something new to replace them. So first of all, let's start with a scenario. Okay, so you're 13, 14, 15 years old, and I know there's a few of you out there, and I'm thrilled that you watch my channel. And so you're just thinking about embarking on wearing a little bit of makeup, but you just don't even know where to start. What kind do you buy? What brand? This video is for you. Then there's the scenario where maybe you're in your late 30s or 40s or early 50s and your children are growing up, or maybe some or all of them have left the nest and you've been working and bringing up your children, and maybe you haven't been wearing too much makeup, or you've been sort of following the same old routine. And now that you have a little bit more time to yourself, you're thinking, you know what, I think I'd like to try something new. I think that I'd like to explore this whole makeup game. Or you may be in your 60s and 70s and beyond, and you're retired. And like me, you've discovered this whole new world of makeup. Now, I've always loved makeup, but I certainly didn't wear as much or spend as much time on makeup as I do these past few years. So this has been a really fun journey for me, and I want to share with you a few of the things that I have learned. Now, foundation is tricky. You don't want to wear too much. You don't want to look as if you're wearing a mask, but you want to wear enough that gives your skin a smooth texture and even tone. And what type of foundation to select? Well, let's start with a powder foundation. So I'm going to start with probably my very favorite foundation of all types of foundation. I've been using this for years. It's IT Cosmetics Celebration Powder Foundation. This is absolutely wonderful. The packaging is very luxurious. Now, I have to say, this one is high-end. After saying that I'm sticking with drugstore products, that is true, except for this one. I discovered this about 15 years ago, and you can buy this on the home shopping networks and often in a bundle, so you'll end up paying a little bit less. But I just checked today, and on their IT Cosmetics website, it's $55 Canadian, which for me is a lot for a foundation. But one thing, you get a lovely mirror, you do get the beautiful packaging, and you do get a lot of product. This is a full coverage, anti-aging, hydrating foundation. It has all kinds of wonderful skincare ingredients. It leaves your skin so smooth with such a beautiful satin finish. It's what I'm wearing today. And I just love this foundation. I wore this for years and nothing else. I didn't use any liquid foundation at all. I wore this. So I would highly recommend, if you are starting to wear makeup. Now, I understand if you're a young person that this is pricey, but you could ask for it for a gift. This will give you an absolutely flawless finish. It blurs the pores, it softens the fine lines and wrinkles, it absorbs oils, it glides on easily, and it lasts all day. It's absolutely beautiful. By the way, IT Cosmetics is not sponsoring this video. I don't have any discounts or anything with this company or any affiliation at all with the company. but I have to just share this with you. It was developed with the help of plastic surgeons, and I'm going to read off some of the ingredients it contains. It has hydrolyzed collagen, peptides, antioxidants, hyaluronic acid, aloe, niacin, and vitamins A, C, and E. So I can't say enough about this one. It actually has a little pad, a little sponge and in the bottom. Now again, yes, and how do you apply this foundation? Well, what I use is I use a flat bottomed brush. Now you can see that it could use a bit of a cleaning, but I like the flat bottom brush. You just swirl it into the powder and just gently, gently brush it in. Now, one thing about that and about any foundation, if you have peach fuzz on your face, and I think most of us do. Now, some women shave their faces. I don't do that, but otherwise, most of us have a bit of peach fuzz. So when you are using a brush and you have blended in your foundation, finish up by sweeping downwards so that those little hairs will lie flatter on your skin. You can also use a little sponge. You can swirl that around in the powder and then press it in. But whatever way that you apply it, this foundation is amazing. Now, another one that is quite good and is considerably more affordable is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Powder Foundation. The packaging on this one is very simple, nothing fancy, and in fact, in some of the reviews, some of the people really objected that there is no mirror and there is no sponge or powder puff. But nevertheless, this is a lovely foundation. It evens out the skin tone. If you build it up, it does give a pretty full coverage. I find not as full as the IT Cosmetics Celebration Foundation, but it is a very nice foundation. One thing I forgot to mention about the IT Celebration Powder Foundation is that it's formulated without talc, without parabens, without mineral oil, and without any synthetic fragrance, whereas this NYX one does have talc in it. But nevertheless, it's a very affordable option and it works really nicely, and I use this and enjoy it very much. Another really nice foundation is from Wet n Wild. And this one is extremely popular. I've heard many content creators really rave about this one. There are two formulas. This is the dewy, and there is a matte one as well. So this is a liquid foundation. Now, one thing that is a bit awkward about this is it has this little paddle. So this is not the ideal way, I think. I mean, to me, I like an airtight bottle with a pump because it keeps the product air-free, and to me, it keeps it more hygienic. So this little paddle is a little silly, but nevertheless, the foundation itself is absolutely beautiful. This one goes on very smoothly. You need very little to spread it around, and it does leave a lovely satiny, dewy finish. Another one is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Serum Foundation. This is absolutely gorgeous, and it really is quite liquidy. I'll put some on my hand here. You can see it's quite watery. And you need very little. It spreads really, really easily. It's a lovely foundation. And it's so very hydrating. It does feel like a serum going on. And it just gives a lovely glow. I wouldn't call this full coverage. It's, I think, a medium coverage, but it does give a beautiful finish on the skin. The next foundation that I really love is also by Wet n Wild, and it's the Stick Foundation. And this is so handy. It's very clean and easy to use. You simply put it, glide it on the skin. It's creamy. It blends in like a dream. And sometimes I just use my fingers to blend it in, or you can use a brush or a sponge, whichever you like to use. But this is a gorgeous foundation and so very affordable. And the last one is a BB cream. A BB cream is lighter than a traditional foundation. It gives a lighter coverage, and this is a Korean brand, Misha. This one is very popular indeed. This one is color 23, and I've used it well, as you can see, and it's just a lovely foundation. Beautiful texture. It has a bit of a gray cast when you first put it on the skin, but as you blend it in, it just gives the most beautiful finish. This is a beautiful product to use in the summer months, I find. So there are some of my favorite foundations, and for any of those scenarios that I talked about at the beginning, any of those would be absolutely perfect, and they're all so affordable, except for the IT Cosmetics, but that one is just a standout product. If your skin is oily, my skin is normal and maybe can be a little dry in the wintertime, but if you have oily skin, there are a few foundations that are recommended. I don't have them with me. I will insert a picture of them for you. Now, all these products that I'm talking about today, I will list and link for you in the description box below. But one of the foundations is the Rimmel Stay Matte Foundation, because for an oily skin, sometimes a matte finish is preferable. The Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation for normal to oily skin. That's another good one. And the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation in a powder. That's a powder one for people with oilier skin. So those are some suggestions for you. Obviously, I haven't used them myself, but I have done some research, and they are very popular and very well loved by people with an oilier skin. If you're new to using foundation, sometimes it's hard to know when enough is enough on your skin. So if you're giving somebody a hug and you're leaving your foundation on their suit coat, well, that's a hint that maybe you're using a little too much. So to be sure, and I always think less is more. You know, if you're in doubt, use less. And to make sure, you can take a dry powder puff and blot the foundation on your skin to absorb any excess, or you can even do that with a tissue. So that gives you the security that you need so that you'll know that you don't have too much, that it's going to rub off when you're giving people hugs. Finding the right shade of foundation can really be a challenge. When in doubt, you're always better to go a little bit darker than too light. And another thing too is if you do buy the wrong shade, like something that's too light and then you have another one that's too dark, you can mix your foundations to try and get the perfect color for you. But if you're fairly new to the foundation game, I would really suggest going to a store which has assistants that can help you select the color that is right for your skin. I think that's time well spent, and they can really be helpful to you in selecting the right color for you. I always like to use a powder over my foundation. That's just me. I just love the whole concept of using a powder. I find it so girly, and I just feel feminine, and I just love it. I love the whole experience. So I do press a little bit of finishing powder over the foundation. If you are using a foundation with a matte finish, you won't want that necessarily, but a translucent powder is always best, and it does give a nice smooth finish over your foundation. Even if you want a dewy finish, sometimes the dewy finish foundations are, for me, a little bit too dewy, so you can always use a finishing powder to get the finish that you want. Preparing your skin before you apply foundation is absolutely key. If you are not using any treatment products, please apply at least a light moisturizer, and preferably over that, a primer. Now, there are so many different kinds of primers. There's gel primers, there's cream primers, there's spray primers. The one I'm using right now is by CoverGirl. It's a priming glow mist. So this is a mist that I spray all over my face after I've applied a moisturizer, and then I let it dry a little bit, and this gives a base for the foundation to go on evenly without splotching. Now, some of the primers that have a silicone finish are quite nice, especially for the powder foundations. I find that they are preferable to something that gives more of a tacky finish, but there's so many primers, I can't even begin to start talking about those. It's something that you need to experiment with, and there are a lot of primers available at a very affordable price at the drugstore. And again, feel free to ask the experts who work at Sephora and Shoppers and places like that, because they really do know their products, and they will help you select the products that are just right for you at whatever stage you are in your life and in your makeup journey. Well, there are a few tips about using and selecting a foundation. And honestly, I really love foundation. I find it gives my skin just an even finish and even texture. You can see there are just so many different formulas, so many different brands, and you can have a lot of fun with this. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments below. These little tips are for women of all age, because we all want to look beautiful. We all want to feel beautiful, and we all want to have a glow so that when we go out in the world, we'll smile and we'll just enjoy every day to the fullest. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. I love you all so much, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. I hope you will join me in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.